Greetings. So we are with the last meeting, last public meeting, and perhaps the last formal debate of the AI General Assembly, first session 2020. We are in the public meeting 8, and in public meeting 8, we are going to discuss the last sub-agenda, which has already been passed with an absolute majority by the delegates. Therefore, I would reintroduce the same to you all, and then we can go ahead. So the last sub-agenda for the day is plurality of tribunal mechanisms in deals. It has already been accepted by the majority and voted also. Therefore, the motion is accepted by procedure. Therefore, in full adherence with it, let us go ahead. So we have the first speaker, that is Anurati. You have already passed your turn. So Mr. Dev, you have 5 minutes to go ahead with this. So shall we begin?
Mr. Abhivardhan, I don't have anything to share on this agenda as of now.
You would like to pass on. Okay.
Yes. Thank
Kashmi? Yeah. Kashmi, shall we
Yes.
begin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Should I start? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, please.
So, plurality in dealing with the tribunal mechanisms and dealing with such criminal regulations, it has always been like it in the international courts and tribunals that there have been various ways of various ways and mechanisms of dealing with dispute settlement. From you take it to negotiation, arbitration, and then the various international courts, and then even states having their own agreements and they go into negotiation. All this has always been there in international law. Obviously, the problem that this would create, that there would be discrepancies, there would not be any uniformity in a lot of judgments that have been given. And this is a problem that is there, like in international investment law, a lot of arbitration is used, and various arbitrations are like, centers give like different opinions, and there are different standards. But personally, for my opinion, I don't think that this is a problem of having a plurality of judgments, or a plurality of opinions is not a problem. Up till and until the basic and core principles are taken, from the international legal order, the wider legal order, especially when we see like specialized legal systems, like in the case of AI, criminal regulation would be something which is a specialized legal field. And in that case, a lot of the principles will have to be adopted from the larger international order, the larger, rules that are there, like, international precautionary principle and like other principles which are there. So even if it is formulated in a manner which is specific to the AI field, it will still have its roots in, the larger international order. Secondly, one of the main like the roles that are there in this case is of the judicial actors in various cases, whether they are negotiators, mediators, or arbitrators, or the judges at the various courts. All these judicial actors have a critical role in this, because they are the ones who at the end of the day will seek the coherence, or will seek, the cooperation at a larger level. The best judgments will involve the technicalities of the field as well as corresponding standards and parameters. It definitely, there have been different opinions, but also judicial actors have always seeked for, a number of decisions, and they take precedence into consideration. So this will be required to, take into consideration global standards, global parameters, judicial differences from judicial decisions from various rules and orders, so that when a particular uh, person or entity is in front of the court, even if they have their own national law which needs to be taken or ruled upon, there has to be a balance that needs to be created, where you take the national laws into place as well as the international concerns, the international rule of law that is developing in this area. So this would also depend a lot on how these norms and standards develop over a period of time. Whatever customary international law law we even see is because it's developed over a period of time, and it's the best practices that the states know and they continue to follow, which become the international law. So it is these judicial actors, it is the academicians, the nations to a certain extent, when they will come together, they will cooperate and make such standards, even having conferences at an international level and discussing that these are some standards that commonly all nations abide by or want to promote. Like this saying that AI is something that should be used for all mankind and for the benefit of all mankind. This is a common principle, a premise on which a lot of nations have been talking about. So this will be like the larger international order based on which principles and parameters will be adopted, and then they will be specific to the technical aspects also will be taken into consideration. So yeah, the judicial actors will definitely have a role to harmonize the law, that is take into consideration various other principles that are taking place, and also to a certain extent a research and academic aspect also they will have a role, that have a judicial dialogue over globally. So uh, they're always aware, updated, and consider the whole global perspective as well along with the national perspective. So yeah, that would be my side on the sub agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Noted. Any point of information so far? No. Thank you. So, Mridpal, you have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
I really don't have anything to offer on this sub agenda, so I'd like to waive my rights to speak.
You want to waive my right to speak? You can pass. I won't waive your right to speak. Okay. Thank you. You can say pass. Yes. Because in the true procedure, when you say waive my right, it means you are actually leaving your right, which means in any matter you can't even contribute in the report. So that is something which is unreasonable. That's why a waive my right is not the right word. But anyways, I agree with you. Pass it on. No, no, no issues. I'm just saying for this for the procedure's purpose because this happens sometimes. Prantik, you have 5 minutes. Would you like to go ahead? Yeah.
Thank you, Vivardhan. I have very much little to say about this aspect particularly, but yeah, like I do have some point on this pluralism, pluralism because that so in respect of to, pluralism aspect on AI crimes and judicial governance. The plurilaterals have to like maintain the integrity of multilateral agreements and follow the principles of universality and inclusiveness and transparency because it's often witnessed that like it's often witnessed that like plurilateralism fragments and disrupts the larger multilateral process and including multilateral cooperation on different issues. So according to my opinion, like plurilaterals have should should not modify existing multilateral rules and discipline or introduce new obligations in any sector or agreements, or else the basic pillar of international cooperation may be affected. So, when we are even when you are talking about this like tribunal mechanisms and dealings. So when we're talking about that also, so by if we consider like a very hypothetical situation where we consider we consider like a separate resolution. Resolution boards have been made up like set up for yeah for particularly for AI dispute resolutions and all, and even so like in the future we have to focus on the expert of people who have expertise on those areas, and we have to like a kind of need to educate the masses on educate the masses and especially the people involved in the judiciary with regard to the functionality and the significance of AI into the decision making process and all. So, so my take on this point is that So my take on this point is that so, so like even if we consider in the present situation that we are trying to bring like integrate like AI into tribunal mechanisms and the dealings of the tribunals into their day-to-day functions and all. So we have to first of all consider the AI should be each tribunal has its own set of expertise. Like the motor vehicles tribunal deals with cases with regard to motor vehicles issues only, like that. Like the NCLT deals with company law cases, like that only. So the AI should be integrated in such a manner that they are able to assist the people there on those particular issues only, and they don't necessarily divulge themselves from the main issue, and so that like the so like that the so like so that the decision making process and the functioning and functioning and the integrity of the whole tribunal system can be maintained. So this I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Prantik. Any point of information to Prantik? No point of information? Right. Thank you. Okay, Sanad, you have 5 minutes. Sorry, Samad, you have 5 minutes. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Uh, I will pass my turn.
Okay. Sanad, would you like to? Yeah, 5 minutes.
Uh, so if I'm getting the agenda right, it's about incorporating a diverse set of views when it comes to the application of AI in tribunals, right?
Okay, let me remind you the sub-agenda. Sub-agenda is plurality of tribunal mechanisms and dealings. For example, there are different tribunal mechanisms, arbitration courts, price courts, uh, um, competition tribunals, and all that. So, in that, plurality is also a very important thing in judicial governance. How is it affected? So, would you like to speak?
I guess as I don't really have any concrete views on it, but I can try.
Go ahead, no issues. That's what it is for. Go ahead.
Uh, since different kinds of courts deal with different matters, I believe that there are certain areas in law which are more factual than others. When it comes to commercial disputes, when it comes to arbitration, when it comes to contractual disputes, I believe that AI can have an enormous impact when it comes to increasing the efficiency of such judicial proceedings, because all it requires is the analysis of the present statutes in case law and the analysis of the contracts. Um, as I've mentioned before, the AI software called OpenAI GPT-3 has already proven adept in doing the analysis of such contract-based and fact-based cases. So I do believe that AI can have a very beneficial impact to the judiciary with respect to these matters. But when it comes to matters where the judicial intervention is required to bring in social reform, I don't really think that AI should be used with respect to dealing cases when it comes to those matters, because uh, we don't really I think AI would be best used if it's just left to as being used in matters where just simple logic and analysis could be applied instead of morality, because I believe that the only morality which should preside in a quote is the constitutional morality, and constitutional morality is can be inferred through the constitution, the political environment, and the various case laws which have been discussed in those particular courts. I don't really believe that, and the aspect of humanity also. So I don't really think that as of now that we could develop an AI which could take into account such nuanced factors and provide for a reasonable analysis on such issues. That's it.
Thank you so much, Salman. You had 2 minutes 27 seconds left. Considering that Shruti won't speak, she would pass it off, I believe. Uh, we have discussed the sub-agenda then. So this marks the end of discussion of all the agendas. Now, in order to close this session and go ahead with the informal debate, so that we can go ahead with passing of the resolution as well as the report. So the thing here is that the recording will also be done so as to pass the draft resolution. Passing of the draft resolution will happen, however, through some different mechanisms. It has been registered in such a way so that it is also uploaded, and then it will now
Your
to
voice
go
is
ahead
breaking.
with this voice is breaking. Is it better? Quite better? Shifted, is it better?
Abhijit, your voice is really breaking.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Sure.
Yes, that issue has been resolved now. I hope it's audible now. Also, uh, we will have a we will have the panel discussion directly instead of track presentations because due to certain forces circumstances, the track has been cancelled in the indoor one. However, uh, we will go ahead with the validatory ceremony, and in order to do the validatory, we will go ahead with that, and we will end the panel soon to go ahead with the validatory. So consider that the panel 4 will begin at 5:20. So all of you have to join at 5:20 if you're eager to watch the last panel. Actually, it's a very interesting panel of IPR issues and ecology. So if you're really interested in environmental issues, please do come. It will be an amazing panel, and all the recordings of AIG will be available. Still cracking a bit. Give me 1 minute. I believe it's better now. I think it's audible. Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, we need to pass a motion to adjourn the AI General Assembly for indefinitely until any special session or emergency session under the Charter of the AI General Assembly is mandated. Therefore, every delegate has to vote for this. Therefore, the Executive Board adjourns the AI General Assembly 2020 Public Meeting 8 to go ahead with the informal debate and passing of the resolution. However, amidst that, there's a request to raise a sub-agenda. So, Summer, what is the sub-agenda would you like to raise? Let's see if it gets passed. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to raise an agenda on the reliance of the AI, like pros and cons of the AI. Like, is it actually limiting our human ability to understand and perceive things? So, what will be the future if we rely so much on AI? So, that is my agenda.
Are you dis- okay? Are you suggesting a sub-agenda or an
Sub
agenda?
agenda, sub agenda.
Okay, okay. Let's put this on vote. Motion is accepted for the purpose of voting. Those who are in favor, please vote aye. Those who are not, please vote no. Please record the votes. Thank you. Everybody has to vote. 1 0 1 0 to 2 0 to 3 0. Oh my god. No offense to anybody.
Four. Four for no, two for I say.
Everybody has to vote. I was expecting it from the beginning.
Everyone wants to go.
Yeah, the resolution has to be passed anyways. See, we can do it earlier also. As a name, we can do it earlier. So let's count. Yes, Shithil. What's the result?
Yes, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for no, 2 for I.
2:6. Democracy maintained. Opposition won. Uh, opposition won. The motion is disbanded, not passed. The motion fails. Therefore, so how I will now explain further how this goes. Acha, okay. Let us at least adjourn this session and adjourn this meeting, not the session still. The adjournment of the session will only happen when the resolution is passed. Okay, you still have 1 hour left. Let us use this time judiciously and work and collaborate together to go ahead with this. Okay, it won't take much time, and then you can enjoy the valedictory ceremony because we will introduce your draft resolution there and talk about it. Obviously, you need not to talk about anything, but we will obviously commemorate you. The audience will be coming, our esteemed panelists will be coming, so it would be great if you come. And yes, obviously, because we will reflect the achievements of AI General Assembly, we have to do it. And obviously, we will also get some time to work on the draft report. So, first, motion proposed by the Executive Board to adjourn Session 1, Public 8, to go ahead with a special public meeting a special private meeting, informal debate for the passage of draft resolution, introduction and passage of draft resolution and draft report 0410 AIGA S1202001 REP and draft resolution 010410 AIGA S1202001 RES. Those who are in favor of the motion, please vote ayes. Those who are not, please vote noes. Every vote has to be registered as soon as possible. I would request the session consultants to record the votes. Thank you. Six. Not everybody has voted yet. Please vote. It is important. Okay. Okay. Seven. One more. Please vote. Who hasn't voted yet? Shruti, I think you have not voted yet. Please vote. Okay, considering that Shruti is not exercising her right to vote, it is 7-0. The motion passes. AI General Assembly Session 1 is not adjourned. Public meeting 8 is adjourned. Therefore, the public meeting ends. However, for the purpose of passage of the draft report and the draft resolution, the session retains. Thus, until the resolution and the reports are passed, the session cannot be prorogated or uh, adjourned thereby. Thank you so much. The recording does now end. It has been submitted to the Secretariat. Please wait until further instructions are given. Thank you.